Okay, we are live. It is Monday night, the 23rd of October 2017. And so far on our panel, we have Patricia UK, Ceres Holland, FPV UK, and allegedly Dave UK. Hello, everybody.
Hiya.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Yeah.
So,
Hello.
Hello, hello. So, I've asked Dave to come on today to have a bit of a catch up with him, as we haven't seen him for rather a while. He's been a very busy man, haven't you, Dave?
Yeah, you could say that.
You've been to America again, is that right?
Yeah, I had a trip to California, well, it wasn't as successful as I would have liked it to have been. But one of the things that came out of it was I did a podcast with a guy called Justin, on Justin Stellman, and yeah, it was a really good talk we had. So much so that he ended up recording our trip to the airport to take me back. So we had like a 45-minute car drive to the airport, and he just we were having such a good conversation that he stuck a recorder on, and that became part 2 of the podcast.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah, it was just one of those.
Yeah, carry on.
Sorry?
Carry on, Dave.
I was just going to say it was one of those free-flowing conversations, and we kind of covered a lot of subjects in 45 minutes.
And yeah, so you're a bit more known in the USA now, then?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know about USA, but thing happened to me yesterday. Actually, day before yesterday now. I was on the tube, and now I go around and I give out these booklets. I wrote a 24-page booklet, and so I give out these booklets to people. And I got on this train, and I looked up, and there was an absolutely stunning woman sitting there right in front of me. And so much so that I was really like almost gobsmacked. I was without words for the first time in a long time. So I was actually trying to kind of get the courage up to go up to her and talk to her. But there's another story here. But a long time ago, when I was really shy, I had an experience where that showed me how I miss out on things if I'm shy. So I thought about that experience, and I went up and I went up to her and said, "Excuse me." And while I was talking to her, I was thinking, wow, oh my gosh, I was thinking, but I was thinking that she was actually saying those words. And she actually said, wow, oh my gosh, you're allegedly Dave.
So you still couldn't go and talk, you still couldn't go and talk to her then?
No, I did. I marched up to her and said, "Excuse me," and that was all I could get out of it, and she said, "Oh my gosh, you're allegedly Dave." So I guess I'm getting a little famous now. Maybe I'm famous. Maybe I should maybe I should get a publicist or something.
You are
familiar, Dave.
Well, interestingly, she said she didn't recognize me when I was standing, opposite her. It was as soon as I opened my mouth, she said she recognized my voice. So I didn't realize I had such a distinctive voice.
Yeah, you have.
You have, Dave.
Well, I mean, I thought I sounded like everybody else from Basildon.
No, we know who you are. If I heard your voice, I'd go, "That's allegedly Dave."
Yeah, it is a dodgy accent, mine. It's a dodgy accent. Just kidding, mate.
Well, it is. It really is. But I didn't, you know, it's just your regular run-of-the-mill Basildon accent. So I was just surprised that certain people seem to think that it's distinctive. Well, anyway, there you go.
But nothing else happened after that then, Dave?
Nothing else really. There's a lot that did happen, which was all negative, to be honest. I was kind of there under false pretenses. I was out in the States, asked to go there under false pretenses, and yeah, it wasn't very nice while I was there.
So,
in fact, the podcast was the only saving grace for the whole time I was there.
How long did you go for?
I was there for just over 2 weeks. And just to give you an idea of what it was like, I don't know if you've seen that film Misery.
Oh no.
Yeah. I think it was only the fact that a sledgehammer that I came away with my ankles intact.
okay.
That bad.
Yeah. So, no. So it was. I don't really want to sort of go into details or anything, but it wasn't a pleasant time, and I came back, and to be honest, I came back feeling a little low because not only that happened, I had a few experiences with people I was helping.
Oh, it's just somebody's getting a message.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'd had a few negative experiences with people I was helping, and I had one of those dark nights of the soul when I got back, when I was thinking about the last 5 years that I've been doing this, and I kind of thought, well, I've got nothing to show for the 5 years, and you know, there's all these people. I kind of lost count of how many people I've helped. But you'd be surprised how few of them even bother to say thank you. You know, it's not that I'm into. I want people to say thank you to me or anything. You know, I'm doing it because I feel I have to. But you know, you'd really be surprised how thanks or is there anything I can do for you or anything? You know, anything like that. It's just so I had a really bad time when I came back, and
You sort of felt a bit in the way then. You were asked over there, and then you just felt in. You were asked over there, and then you just felt in the way.
It was more like as I said, being with like a spurned wife or something, you know. Yeah, but as I said, when coming back, it was sort of a dark night of the soul, and you know, am I doing the right thing? Blah blah blah. But it only lasted a few days, and I snapped out of it. So
no,
yeah, normal service.
You were happy to be back then. That's what it was. You were happy to be back after all.
Yeah, happy to be back. And back in this weather. But
did you do any sightseeing? Did you do any sightseeing when you went over there? Did you go to any places?
Only Las Vegas. I was actually in Las Vegas at the Mandalay Bay hotel because I went to see the Michael Jackson some kind of show. Michael Jackson was there at, maybe the that fake hoax thing that went on there.
Right.
So yeah, when I found out about the fake Las Vegas shooting thingy, I mean, we'd actually gone to the Mantel thing, and so we drove past the front of it, and the road in between Mandalay Bay Hotel and the big sort of where the actual festival was. So we were on the road in between it. So yeah, when it actually happened, I was able to visualize this you you know, how the shooter would have done it, and it's impossible. You know, it was such a distance. Firing like a semi-automatic rifle, and with any accuracy, is like ridiculous. There are people who said they got shot 3 times in the chest, and that's like, no way, you know.
I think most Americans don't believe it was real anyway.
I don't know. I've been catching some of the
So
Sorry.
far,
mainstream.
The flat Earth Americans don't believe it's real.
yeah. So
Say
far,
again?
What I said was the flat
Say that
Earth.
again?
The flat Earth Americans don't believe it's real.
Yeah, well, yeah. So there's a few mainstream things where people ask their opinions, and you know, most people are saying, "Oh, it's terrible, it's horrible," you know.
yeah, what's the drama?
Yeah,
The focusing on the casualty.
actually, I'm gonna see if I'm just gonna see. I'm just gonna ask if the latest flat earther
Oh yes,
wants to come on.
Woo!
Right. Yeah, I'll just see if he wants to come on, because he's only just popped up. I was hoping to run into him before this, but Red Flag Media, the latest truther to come out and make videos, who just happens to be my son.
Yeah.
I wanted to see if he wanted to actually come on.
Do you want me to put the link in the chat room again? I'll send you the link here in the chat room, and you can see if he wants to come on, because it's actually on there, but it came on before. That's the link for the Hangout.
Okay, well, I've still got the one you sent me, so
Oh, okay.
So I was going to send it out. Right. You know, I'll just.
So we'd like to say congratulations to him.
Yeah. Well, what I'll do is I'll just drop him the link. If I can copy and paste it, drop him a link, and if he wants to come in, he'll come in, and if not, well, okay, I'll just give me a second. Okay, all right. So yeah, just mentioning that. Yeah, just this week, last week, my son basically came out as a truther and a flat earther, and started his own channel, videos. I've got to say, they were very sharp videos, actually. I don't know if you caught any of them.
I haven't, but we can get Ceres to put one on if you like.
Well, okay. Well, his channel is Red Flag Media.
Is there any way you've got a favourite one of his that you like that the Ceres can play?
Yeah, there's one that he does called "Flat Earthers Are So Stupid." It's only a short one, but it's quite kind of comes at it in a slightly different way.
I just think
it was your Facebook link. I came across him indeed. Yeah, that was the one. The actual.
Oh, you come across that one? Okay.
Yeah.
I just say, Dave, that Mark says hello. Where are we? P900. Where are we going down the list? Jamaican Titan saying hello. Obviously FPV's in the chat room saying hello to everyone. I say they're all starting to say hello, Dave.
Oh, okay. Hi, everyone. So yeah, at the moment I'm an extremely proud dad, because you know, my son was I guess
Jimbo says hello. Jimbo says hello to you.
Yeah, I don't know where to go to actually get the get the page with all the comments and stuff on. So maybe you can send that to me.
Ceres is looking it up, I think. Richard Lee Burke says hello. Dave.
Okay.
Chat
Hello.
room. Luke Marshall says hello.
Okay. Hi, Luke. I'm your father.
Ceres, how you
Or I
doing?
should say, Luke, I am your father.
What, is that your son then, Luke Marshall?
No. Red flag media. I am your father.
Yeah.
Maggie says hello. Maggie M says hello in the chat room. Hulk says hello.
Hulk smash.
He's Hulk flat.
Ah, okay, not Hulk smash then. Okay. Yeah, so my son, he was when he was 11, his story, because it amazes me. My son saw me one day pick up a can of drink. I was looking at the label, and I saw there was aspartame in it, so I put it straight back. And my son saw me do that, and he was like, "Oh, what's wrong with that?" I explained to him about what aspartame was, and you know, bit of that. I didn't tell him any more. And a couple of weeks later, my wife said to me, "You better go and talk to your son. He just walked up to his bedroom with like 2 crates of drink." His room. I said, "Well, what's all this about?" And he said, "Okay, this brand is the only aspartame, sodium benzoate, high fructose corn syrup," and he listed off a whole list of things that I didn't tell him about, that he'd obviously gone off and researched. And he said, "This is the only brand I could find without all those things. Enough to see me through." So I was like, at that moment, and he's been kind of like that, you know, ever since. But he's never ever actually come out, you know, publicly and said anything. And apparently, I don't want to sort of tell his story for him. He's been sort of trying to talk to his friends. You know, they all think he's crazy, like most of us. Most of us can relate to that. But you know, he found he didn't have an outlet for this information that he's got. So so he finally actually made his own channel and started making videos, and they've been good videos.
Sounds like a proud dad to me.
Dave, can you say that your son's channel again? Because a couple of people are asking for it in the chat room.
Yeah, it's Red Flag Media. I'll see if I can find the actual link for it.
There's a link in the chat there, Golden Worry, mate. I'll put it back in for you.
Oh, okay, cool.
Too late, Sandra beat me to it. There it is.
Okay, it's in the chat room.
Yeah.
Right, Ceres. Have you got one, Ceres? Right, we'll go to Ceres.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, it's Red Flag Media.
Yes.
What's good? Flat Earthers, man.
Hey,
guys
Red
are
Flag, comment.
like, you genuinely believe that you live on a motionless plane, which is what we observe, and that the sun and the moon are close to us and relatively the same size, which is what it looks like, and that water can't curve, which we've never seen happen, and that we and the place that we live are the result of intelligent design from a power much greater than ourselves, which is observable in the natural phenomenon of the Fibonacci sequence. Seriously? That is completely ridiculous. I mean, compared to what I believe, which is that one day nothing exploded, creating an infinitely expanding universe on which we are a speck of dust, living on a spinning speck of dust that's spinning around a giant fireball, hurtling through a vacuum in outer space populated by other giant fireballs and an infinite number of other rocks, and traveling through space at an unquantifiable speed, and that we and every single solitary species on the planet developed from a puddle. Now, I don't know where the puddle came from, or the rock that the puddle was on, or the fireballs, or where any of it actually came from. Flat earthers believing what they see. Like, how ridiculous is this? You know, when we have so much science, you know, that we can't prove because there are no experiments to prove any of it. And that any experiment that's ever been done to prove that the earth is moving have failed to do that. And yet you don't believe science. You know, we have all these composites from NASA that were created in Photoshop that prove to you that the earth is round. Come on, man. How could you not believe what science is telling you? That you're related to a banana and that you're related to a blade of grass because you evolved from the same thing. You know, it's so obvious that that's the case. How could you believe anything different? It's just so crazy that there are people out there who actually believe that, you know, none of what science and NASA are telling us is true when it's so clear that, you know, they landed on the moon. Did you not see? Obviously, you couldn't see any of the stars in the background, and the Earth was the wrong size, and there was no crater under the lunar module when it landed, and there was no delay between feeds, and they lost 700 boxes of footage from the Apollo mission. It just disappeared, and they can't even go into the moon anymore because they destroyed the technology to do it. And you don't believe that? I've never heard of anything more ridiculous than flat earthers believing what they actually see for themselves. That's all I got for today, man. I'm out.
And there you go.
Fantastic vid, that. Well done. Yeah, lovely video.
Yeah, so his first videos have I think are very successful, and he's you know, just for going what, less than a week, I think he's got his first copyright strike, or you know, wasn't, I don't think it was a copyright strike, it was just a strike that YouTube didn't like what he was saying. But so he must be getting good, because YouTube is starting to notice him after just a week. So
yeah.
Yes, they're noticing us as well. We are banned on our other channel at the moment from live streaming with no strikes. Yeah, we're banned from live streaming.
This is the future for us, really, because the net is closing in, and it won't. I don't think it will be quite obviously, you know, people's whole channels disappear and stuff. I think it's you know, our audience is going to get smaller and smaller, and it's just going to be just a bit of an echo chamber where only the people who already know about what we're talking about will hear what we're talking about. Yeah, it's kind of what we are, where we are right now. You know, that's what Facebook does to us.
There's some comments in the chat there, Dave. There's a few people already seen your son's video, and they like it as well. They're on the ball, these guys, you know. They call out the new videos.
And Scouse asks, how old is your son?
He's nearly 22. He's 22 next month.
So he's still a youngie.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. And interestingly, I've been getting a lot of calls from very young people. Actually, I was just in a call with a 15-year-old Australian boy, this afternoon. Just woken up to everything, and you know, I'm like, he's telling me about his finding out all this stuff, and his whole life has changed. I'm trying to tell him, you know, imagine what it's like after 42 years, and then finding your life changing.
Yeah, I wish that I'd known this or understood it when I was younger, or it bothered me. I mean, like most people, you're married, or you've got children, and you're working. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in the way, isn't there? When you're young and you're not looking at that. But I would have been interested. But hey,
the thing is though, when you're young, you've got your own problems as well, because You know, you're expected to go to school and you know, sit there, even though that you know that it's all bullshit. And then you got pressure from your parents to do well. I'm doing the air quotes here. Do well at school. And you know in your heart that it's all bullshit, and you know you're not learning anything. You're being programmed. So yeah, it's just as hard, because I remember being, you know, when my son was at school, and I was told, oh, his grades are going down, and yeah, he was doing excellently, and then all of a sudden his grades went down, and that obviously coincided with him understanding what school was about. So
yeah, he woke up.
yeah, he woke up, and I remember having to speak to him, and I was in that that I guess cognitive dissonance state where I had two separate minds. One of them was the father who wanted his son to do well at school, and then there was you know, allegedly Dave that was going, school's bullshit. You know, you're right not to want to participate in it.
Yeah, just say yes, son, but don't believe them.
Exactly. That was basically my advice. My advice was, look, you've got to play the game. You know, I know it's bullshit. You know it's bullshit. But you know what? Play the game. Play the game, knowing that it's bullshit.
Yeah, get your marks, get out of there.
And yeah, I mean, because especially at that age, it's likely to go against you if you try and buck the system. You know, at you know, 13, 14 or whatever.
So
But then it goes. Sorry?
What was it that happened then for him to suddenly say, Dad, I'm a flat earther, or I understand that we're on a flat earth realm? What was that? What happened then?
Well, basically he told me that, you know, we were having a little chat, and he told me that he was trying to talk to his friends about the flat earth and a couple of other things. And, you know, the usual thing that we're all used to, that, you know, they laugh at him. They're not really even listening. You know, they're just assuming, like, you know nothing, you know, dude, don't you science, you know, that sort of thing. So he was just like frustrated that he had no one to talk to about it, you know, no way of expressing this stuff. And we all know what it's like, you know, you find all this stuff out and you're bursting, you know, literally bursting to get it out there. But there's nobody to talk to. So he didn't want to start posting things on Facebook, because literally his Facebook page was all about his friends and his work and stuff like that. So I just suggested he just make up another channel completely away from his normal persona, and just start posting, you know, his stuff.
How did that make you feel, Dave?
Well, obviously, absolutely superiorly proud dad, you know. It's like, you know how it's like when you meet another truther, you know. It's like, you know, there's a kind of joy of, hey, you think like me, that sort of thing. But to have a member of your family, even though I've got a few members of my family who are awake to all these things, but you know, somebody as close to me as my son, to suddenly now go, you know what, you're right. You know, you were right about what you were saying, and I'm with you.
Not only that, Dave, you got some teamwork now. You can carry on doing your thing, and your son can keep it updated on what he's doing. Well,
yeah. One of the things, I'm actually going to go up and spend some time with him over the next week. So one of the things we might do is do a couple of videos, the two of us, you know, just maybe having a chat, or I don't know how it's going to work, but I think we're going to try and do something a bit different.
So did he not live close to you then, Dave?
No, you know, my children are very well, let's say self-sufficient. So yeah, he lives about 300 miles away from me. So yeah, So I want to spend a couple of weeks up with him.
Yeah, you got to release them to the wild sooner or later.
Well, that's the thing, you know, in this society now, it's getting harder and harder to do that. You know, they've literally destroyed any sort of state help for young people.
Yeah.
So
Jobs is hard, Dave, isn't it now? Getting a good job's hard. It's a job in itself.
yeah, I think my son is on one of those 0-hour contracts. I didn't understand what those were until he explained it to me, and I was shocked that, you know, he can just be told, right, we don't want to see you for another few weeks, and he's expected to just sit around and just wait for them to call him.
That should apply to politicians then, surely, and everyone else in that level.
Well, yeah, it should, but is it?
There are so many people now to fill these places. There's probably, you know, like maybe there's not enough work or something. They've got so many workers, they can just do what they like, can't they?
Well, yeah, but it's more insidious than that. You know, if that person doesn't like you for some reason, they can just mess with your life. You know, if you know, if you suck up to them, maybe you'll get more work. I mean, it just, you know, it sounds more like slavery than anything else.
Yeah.
It's communism, really, isn't it? It's some kind of form of communism we're living in now.
Yeah, we are. I've already put that one out myself, that, you know, they've covered us in subversion. The things they're doing to us, we're not in a free world. We're not. I mean, just say, for instance, that they say the West is this free we're not. We're so censored and controlled. It's a kind of communism we're in. Whereas in Russia, they took everything away, and here they've made us slaves to debt.
Yep. And it's what the whole country, or I think each person is a kind of microcosm of the whole country, you know, because everyone is in debt, and no matter how they think, you know, they think they're doing really well, they're still in masses of debt, even if they're not acknowledging it. You know, if you've got a mortgage, you know, you're in debt. You know, and
it's a debt society, you know.
It is.
My world goes bill, 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 bill.
Yeah, and you know what? Most people are, you know, a bad circumstance away from you know, losing everything. You know, so if you know, if you lose your job, and you can't get another one for like 6 months to a year or something, I mean, that's it. You're done. You know, I don't
understand this minimum wage thing, because it just doesn't keep up with the rate they're putting things up. And the other day I was in the supermarket, okay, I didn't buy it, but I looked, and it said 2 organic chicken breasts, £5.50. I mean,
okay, it's been a while since I bought chicken, and it's been a while since
I didn't buy it. I just saw it, but I just thought,
you buy 2 chickens, so you live in chickens for about £5.
Yeah. Well, I remember before I left the country in '96, I would go out, you know, to the supermarket and buy a whole month's worth of shopping, which basically filled 2 shopping carts for 80 quid. Right, and you know, I could probably fill maybe a couple of hand baskets with 80 quid's worth of stuff now. If that.
Yeah, everything's gone up for wages, Dave. I can see that.
Yeah, so it's kind of obvious, you know, that when you put it in perspective, that that we're being squeezed right now. It's a slow, deliberate thing, so that we all see it as natural or normal, and you know, we see past the fact that it's like a big game of musical chairs, you know. Just because people are dropping off in places you can't see doesn't mean that you know, you're not likely to have the chair pulled out from under you.
I just see that everything is going up so much, and the wages just do not go up with how they're sticking everything up. I mean, every week something is up. Our wages should be matching.
Well, should be, but I see the whole thing like sharecropper after the slaves were freed, so-called slaves or were so-called freed, this thing called sharecropping came in, where the landowners would, gather up his former slaves and say, okay, you're all free now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to loan you some seed, some farm equipment, maybe, so all this stuff. And what you do is you'll grow the food as you used to do. At harvest time, we'll split the profit, and you just pay me back what you owe me for what I've lent you. And it always worked out that they didn't have enough to pay back their debt. And so the next year they had to borrow more, and so on and so on. And they stayed in debt. And in effect, they remained slaves as they always were, but they kind of thought they were free. And this is where we are.
Only the thought. Yeah. It's the same with food. They only sell you the taste, not the actual food.
Yeah, but
and also they're making the money smaller, aren't they? Like the £5 just got smaller. Whenever they make anything smaller, they're just telling you it's worthless.
well, it's more that they just made it out of plastic, for God's sake.
Yeah,
I know.
It's like
garbage.
Do you like the new money, Dave? Because I don't.
Not at all. Not at all. It's silly. It's what the thing that brought that home to me, the money thing home to me, was seeing that it's a bit of a meme now, but seeing that there's a shop that was selling plastic money, £5 worth of plastic money, and it cost £7. So the plastic money is worth more than the actual physical money.
Golly.
Yeah. So.
Sure.
Yeah, so this is where we are. I was trying to say that that under this cropping, this is where we are right now, because right now everybody is surviving on something like 3% of what they earn.
Back they sort of froze a lot of wages, didn't they, a few years ago? Because a lot of people have had their wages frozen.
But it doesn't matter. Your wages, 97%. Or even more than that, gets taken away from you in taxes. Yeah, first of all in income tax before you even get to see it, and then everything you spend your money on has got taxes associated with it.
Yeah.
So that all the food that you buy is loaded up with tax. You buy petrol, tax. You got a car, tax. You're being taxed left, right, and centre. So you're struggling along on 3% of what you take home. Or what you earn, and so you never get out of this debt situation.
But your energy bills on top of that, Dave, what a nightmare.
Sorry, say that again.
I'm saying, put on top of that your energy bills at home, your utility bills and things. It's just ridiculous, like.
Yeah, especially when utility bills, for instance. Well, they're all ours. They're our resources. We built the systems to deliver them to ourselves. Yeah, it should be free because we've already paid for it. Yeah, but what Maggie Thatcher did was did a bit of sleight of hand and said, well, they've all got to work like businesses now, and then sold them to people. Yeah, so now we have to pay. Before we were kind of just...
No, Dave, Thrive and Survive wants to do something like you, be self-sufficient, not on the grid.
It's kind of what I also saw with our public transport. It was all tax-based, completely sustained by the government, and then we paid, 90% tax already for that public transport. Had we paid the 10% extra to actually make it a free public transport, we probably could have saved more than that 10% on people not having to control the tickets, check the tickets, and all that stuff, all the ticket stuff you don't need to buy, all that paper stuff, nothing of that. You just save all that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably more than what you actually pay extra for the 90%. So you end up with paying 80%, for example. And then you had free transport. And, well, instead of doing that, they actually sold it and privatized it. And now we're stuck with it twice as high as bill to even travel from here to there.
Well, yeah. As soon as you privatize something, yeah, it's now a business, and that business is in it for profit. So prices go up, and service goes down. You know, that's the way it works. And before it was like, okay, it was run for the people. It was a public service. So it was working. It did the job. You know, it was just that you know, with sleight of hand, and you know, Maggie Thatcher stirring it up and everything, and you know, pissing everybody off. That,
all politicians are as bad as each other, though, aren't they?
Oh, of course. Well, that's their job, really. It's not them that's doing it. They're just executing their orders.
Because you know, don't you, that all they've done is take our freedom away.
Say that again.
All they've done is take our freedom away. That's what all this is about, by lying to us, even about being on the flat earth realm. The whole thing is to take our freedom away.
Well, yeah, it's but it's the way they do it is kind of gradualism, yeah. They only take some little something away. It's like a game of Jenga, you know, pulling out a little thing here and there, and you don't notice it. Sometimes you see it wobble, and you're like, whoa, what's going on? But you know, until it collapses, right? You don't see it coming, and you know, we're heading for the collapse, because this cannot last very much longer. Yeah,
I know. Just even 7 or 8 years ago, I sold a house almost for the same price as the one I've got now. The one I've got now is a smidgen, because the prices have gone up so much. How young people are able to buy houses, goodness knows. They need sort of about 20,000, 30,000 as a deposit to start with.
Mm-hmm. Well, I personally think you're heading for another housing crash, because as you say, the bubble has been inflated again.
Well, nothing works anymore. To try and get a house is just ridiculous.
Yeah,
we're actually almost on our knees, and no one's talking about it.
Yeah. Where I am at this moment, there were some new houses built. A whole little estate of houses were built, and that was about a year ago that they finished building them. And I walk past it, you know, once or twice a week, and expensive cars parked on the driveways, but they're fakes. There's nobody living in these houses. They put some stuff in the windows to make it look like there are people living in it, so maybe they'll entice somebody into buying it. But these things aren't moving. The tricks they use to try and get people to buy them. You know, this world is messed up. You know, it's an anti-life world. You know, it's anti-humans. You know,
and that's the bit isn't it? That we're human beings. We're not. They've made us. It's almost like, without telling us, they've sent us to boot camp, and all we are basically like the herds of lorries which they take off to the slaughterhouse. I know they're not taking us to the slaughterhouse, but they're herding us like that.
Oh, they are taking us to the slaughterhouse. It's just that the slaughterhouse, you know, isn't a physical place. Yeah, it's you know, we're being slaughtered right now. You know, in this country, they're doing it with healthcare. You know, because the food. Sorry.
All possible ways. There's just one directive. Well, the first commandment of the George's Guidestones.
Yeah.
If that isn't right in your face, then I don't know.
Exactly. You know, we know that the pharmaceutical companies own the food companies.
They own the European Union. They created the European Union.
Yeah. So so they determine what food we eat, and they lace that food with poisons, so that we have to go to them. Yeah. So we go to them for more poisons, and yeah, so we slowly die that way. Yeah. In other countries, they use different methods, but healthcare is the one they use in this country.
Yeah, if health food is this Bible in your store, then you might wonder what is that other stuff.
Mm. So yes, sorry, getting all depressing with this, but
Yeah.
you know what, this what we're facing right now is incredibly serious, and you know, just because the Muggles can't see it, and I've got to admit that there are some Muggles actually starting to wake up. I just was talking to my ex-wife, who suddenly said, that was actually my first ex-wife, but who suddenly said that yes, she can see stuff happening now, which shocked the hell out of me, because she's always been relatively asleep. But she was saying, I can see stuff happening now. So it must be out there.
P900 says it's not depressing. People need to know and prepare.
Yeah.
Well, yes.
Realize.
And that is the point. You know, if you're not aware of all this, if you have no idea of what's going on, if you have no idea that all these terrorist events are, you know, are scripted and played out by actors, then you're going to be in fear, you know, in constant fear. And when, you know, the big event happens, it's going to take you by surprise. You're going to be even more fear, and you'll be prime meat for the elite, who will hand you the pre-scripted solution to the problem they created, and you're just gonna bite. You know, whether it's getting a chip in your arm, yeah. People are going to be scared enough to just go ahead and do it. So this is why it is important that you know, we have a role as people who are awake to all this. You know, we're essentially the watchmen on the wall. Yeah, we're the ones who see the threat coming, and we're doing our job, standing on the wall, yelling at the top of our voices. You know, there's danger here. You know.
I don't mean to sort of put something in. I've put it in Facebook series. I made a little video. It's about 5-10 minutes. It was about 10 minutes long. And it talks all about what they've done to us. Do you want to see it, Dave?
Okay.
Series will play it. I've sent it to Facebook series. Because I have my my feelings about what I think flat Earth's about. It's not just the word flat Earth. It just is the whole concept of it.
Okay.
I'll put it onto series.
Oh, fuck.
Hang on, everybody. My series gets it ready.
Unfortunately, my son said he can't do it right now. He's doing something else at the moment.
Here you go. Never mind, Dave. Maybe you can come back on another one.
Yep, maybe
you can do one when you're with him.
maybe.
Yeah. Right. Here we go.
Hi there again. I know I put this video out earlier on another video to show that something's very, very, very wrong here, as you can see by this footage here. Any one of you can go and do this. You only have to actually go and just pick a piece of footage up and just look at it a few times, and you can start seeing things that just don't add up to where they say they're supposed to be and what they're supposed to be in. But really, there are 2 points to all this. One is about taking your freedom away, and the other one is about subversion. Now, when you see things like this, it is fake. This is fake. That astronaut is not there. This is some CGI. This is some rendering. Why would they have to fake it? to show you that they've been and done these things. Why would they fake it? It's lies. And how do you believe liars? There he is, working away. He's moving there, pound away, whatever they're doing. And then when you come back, he's not moving. The other one is, and one isn't. One is completely frozen. Now, you, us, people watching this, think this is real. Think this is high technology. Think this is the future, that this is happening.
High-tech
And
fakery,
these
maybe.
people are risking their lives. It's fake. So what they're doing is they're making a fake reality for you. You are living in a fake reality. The reality you think is there doesn't exist. You believe a reality that doesn't exist. So do you see how easy it is to mind control the people? If they've got you believing that this is real, then you'll believe that fake wars are real, the fake news is real. You'll believe all that stuff you're watching on the television. You will believe it as if it is real. All this, like, I've only looked at this just like in the last couple of weeks proper. And I mean, if I found all this, anybody could find all these mistakes. You've got to add up. There's too many mistakes. How can... It's got us believing a non-reality. And what that does is, it takes your freedom away because you don't even know what's real. You believe this and this isn't reality. This is fake. This is making you believe something that's not real. So it is taking your freedom away. Luckily, some of us are now waking up and knowing that we are free in our bodies and in our minds, and maybe becoming a bit more spiritual through this. This is like the Emperor's clothes story, the children's story. And the Emperor was naked, but tried to make everybody believe that he had beautiful clothes, and in fear, they all went, "Oh, Majesty, they're so beautiful." And he wasn't wearing anything. And it only changed when one person stood up and said, "He's naked." And then everybody woke up and decided differently. This is what this is about. This is wake up, please. This is a mask, and it is a lie. And what makes it worse is, the really sad thing is, that was supposed to be the biggest step that mankind had ever taken, and it never happened. That was not the biggest step of mankind. That is a lie. If you ever have listened to any of William Cooper's stuff and what he explains about what NASA is telling us about what being on the moon would be like, it would be 1/6 of your body weight. Every time they moved, they would really be bouncing 6 times more than if they were on Earth. Okay? So there's no way when he did that, he'd be able to just do that. He would be bouncing up. So this whole thing is a lie. And this is a form of subversion, because it's controlling you and channeling you to a place that doesn't exist. And what it is through subversion, what they've done is they've managed to change everything. So we don't believe in our creator or gods or God, whichever way you want to look at it. You're now believing in false gods. You're now believing you've got to earn millions of pounds and you've got to aspire to these egotistical, well, most of them are very egotistical people with all this money, and that's what you're pushed towards, money and egos. Yeah? A lot of people more obese. Then they've made sure that everybody feels bad about themselves, and they've broken families up, which is such a sad thing, is that everybody's just so angry and can't say the word, antagonistic. And, you know, the families keep breaking up one way or another, and even something like the subject of flat earth. That just makes it sound like you've killed somebody. But I suppose in reality, what you're telling everybody is that the life they believed in is a lie, and they're too afraid, or it's too frightening to think, what do you mean, you're crazy? But we're not. But it's breaking up families. The whole point was to break up families, to make us feel that we didn't care about ourselves. We were absolutely worthless, just like the big sun and the worthless earth. And then pushing these people into this closed box lid box with stuff that really wasn't theirs, channeled, lied to, used, and then they're still able to do what they want then, because now they've got you completely controlled because we're slaves to debt. So subversion again is a kind of communism. So we're not in a free world. A free world is not like this. It would not take this much effort to lie to you. A free world tells you the truth. I've been on holiday in Turkey. They tell you more of the truth there than they do here. We are very censored here in the West. We think we're free. Out there, we're not. In your bodies, yes, but not out there. It is completely controlled. Anyway, the whole point of what I'm trying to do is that, to say to you, is that they've got you only looking at this past of history, of concentration camps, of soldiers, of wars, of bad, of fighting, of oppression, of poorness, and all that. So that doesn't look very good. And in the future, it's just as frightening, because now there's horrible things like HARP and CERN, and wars and terrorism, and that's what's thrust in your face. So it's fearful at the front and it's fearful at the back, and in the middle they've made sure that they've destroyed society. But I will tell you this one thing, people: it is not the government that makes your community. It really is the people. If you believe in church, it's not the buildings that make the people. The buildings that make the church. It is the people. It is the people. There's nothing you can do without the people. But the people have been channeled and are depressed now and fired with HARP and chemicals and chemtrails and lied to, and it's depressing, and you're probably going to die anyway, and nothing is spiritual. And a lot of people who are waking up right now, it includes so many aspects of life. It could have started off with the words flat earth, but it is absolutely the deepest thing that you will ever look into. It's not just about whether there's a flat horizon and the sun goes straight across in dimensions. It really is the lies that we've been put in to cover up the fact that we were never on a ball in the first place. But all these pains, the subversion, the breaking up of families, the arguing, the egos, it's all to keep you from being here and now. And I don't mean to put anybody in one thing or the other, but that's what flat earth is about. We are here and it is now. Flat earth. And when I say flat earth, I mean Mother Earth. We are living in this most amazing place that you could ever imagine. It would be lovely if we could love the place that we live in and appreciate it for what it is. It's the most futuristic thing that you could ever imagine. If everybody could take all of that vision of what they think the moon and going to the moon and spaceships are all about, and like realize when they're showing you like through Stargate and all these dimensions and things, that they've made you believe that it's all up there, but it isn't. It's all happening here. If we really cared about where we lived and understood that in curvature it's 8 inches a mile and then it gets squared, that if that was really happening, you wouldn't see miles ahead like that. If you work it out, it's so easy. Go and look up how many feet, whatever it is you want to do it under, inches, meters, how much it will have dropped. It means you wouldn't be able to see what you see. And the only reason you can't see it is you're a long way out. But if you can zoom in, like this person's doing, then things are there that shouldn't be there. That shouldn't be there like that. It should be well under curve. Your naked eye might not be able to see it because you can only see for so far. But magnified in, it's there. And it shouldn't be there. It should be over the curve. Anyway, Mother Earth. And what a lot of people may not understand is that this flat earth, whatever you want to call it, flat Mother Earth, flat earth realm, It is a realm. So flat Earth covers all the lies now. It's covering the pyramids. It's covering the history. It's covering the language. It's covering what makes us work. It's covering, most people don't even understand the whole what everything is. Everybody just takes everything for granted. They don't even realise they're multi-dimensional in their own bodies. Their own bodies are multi-dimensional, and outside their bodies is multi-dimensional. Some of this stuff might go across people's heads and they may not be that interested in it. I understand that, but to be lied to protect stuff is just, it's I can't find another word, because to completely lie to its people is treason. There's just no way these things could happen if we were on a ball. Everything that would be about the sun would be different. Because don't forget, we would be moving. The only thing that moves in your sky is the sun. We're not moving, we're stationary. And for others who don't understand this, what it does for a certain section of us, but it would be great if it could be for everybody, is that we feel at peace in our hearts. Peace in our hearts. It's a very spiritual thing. Anyway, for the rest of the world, and for everybody, and for every flat earther, and for everyone that's not, I send out a big hug to the world. There you go, there is the chart showing you the curvature drops. You can't have it one way without having the other way. I had someone saying to me, yes, but you can't see it from 36,000 feet. Well, when can you see it if there's maths to say you can? You can't see it because there isn't any. Anyway, back to the hug. I'd like to end on a hug and hope that maybe it just makes some people who don't even understand about the lies, what this is all about. Thank you for watching.
Nice commentary there, Karen.
Hey, there's Dave. Okay, Dave. Someone's echoing.
I think it was you.
What do you think?
Yeah, it's got to be.
I was just thinking as you were as the video was going. I don't know why it popped into my head. I just realised how much the world has changed in my lifetime.
Yeah.
I remember we would go out all day, and as far back as I can remember, 5, 6, whatever, we were out all day until the street lights came on, playing in the street, playing football. We'd be, all the kids would be out in the street or out in the park, or there were literally kids everywhere.
Yes, I was out all the time. And
now I remember going back to my my old street just this was about a month ago, back to my old street, and there wasn't a single child out in the street. There were lots of cars, more cars than I could remember back then, but there was not a single child out in the street. And going further forward, when I went and my first jobs, the working was a different experience. It was a social experience, and the whole company would go down the pub on a Friday afternoon. Nobody would be expected to work, on a Friday afternoon. But now, last time I remember working, it was a soulless drone of an existence in a job. I'm sure not everybody's job is like that, but from what I saw, most jobs have turned into these drone-like experiences where you're not allowed to have any human expression whatsoever. It's frowned on to talk to people. I think my last job, I remember we had a kind of instant messenger system within the, and I got, because you know it's frowned upon to talk, you know.
Do you think when you look back, Dave, that you know as you were younger you had this hope, and now you've seen that there is no hope? There's just sort of like a prison.
Well, what I do see is that I must have had a very naive view of the world, because you know, I bought into the Disney World view of everything. You know that yeah, you know we're a spacefaring nation now, and or a spacefaring world now, and you know we've got all this amazing technology. You know, with the pinnacle of human existence. You know, we've got nuclear power stations and all this stuff, and then on this journey of discovery, you know, to find out like nuclear power stations are just steam engines, you know.
Yeah.
And again, this is like there's layers of this this deception that you start learning. So you know, with the nuclear power stations, you know, first of all, I realized that shit, they're not high tech at all. It's like piling radium together, which when you put it enough together, it heats up. Yeah, and then boiling water and turning it into steam and driving steam engines. What the hell is that? And then you find out there's another layer above. Just found out that all these nuclear power stations with these huge cooling towers. Well, why do they need cooling towers? Because if they're driving steam engines, any heat you generate, yeah, well, the best thing to do is funnel that heat into another steam engine, you know, and use every last scrap of heat.
They're wasting the heat. They're wasting the heat.
Well, no. Think about it. If you've got this heat, and it's heat that's driving these steam engines and producing the power, you know, if you're clever, yeah, it's in a nuclear power station. You would use every last bit of that heat to drive engines to make power. So why are they have they got cooling towers? Well, it turns out that we know why they've got cooling towers. They're using them to dump millions and billions of tons of water into the atmosphere around the aluminium, yeah, with their technology. Yeah, that shows you the premeditation that's going into all this. Yeah, but, you know, back then when there were power stations, they were building these essentially these wet surface air coolers, you know, all the way back then, and we've been fooled. Yeah, as I said, there's many layers of this, and you know, you peel back one layer and you think you've got to the truth, but there's many other layers underneath. You know, so yeah, the moon landing again. I was such a big fan of space. One of the big heartbreaks, even though I knew that they didn't go to the moon, it was seeing that picture, that close up of the lunar lander, when it's so obvious that it's, you know, construction paper and cardboard and, you know, sheet aluminium tacked on and curtain rods and gold foil, and we bought it like hook, line and sinker back then. Crazy. That was a heartbreak moment for me when I saw that thing. I thought, did I really believe that thing landed on the moon? Yeah, it was just a heartbreaking moment. And then having Don Pettit say, "Oh, we've lost all the technology to get back there." I mean, really? It's like
they never had it.
their navigation was less powerful than a speak and spell. Yeah. A speak and spell was more powerful than their navigation computer. Yeah. So an iPhone right now, an iPhone had more computing power than the lunar lander and all the computers in NASA all put together. Yeah. they were all less powerful than an iPhone. So it's not the computer technology that they've lost. So what else could it be? Well, can they make a pressurized can that can go to, do what they did in 1969? Well, they've had the space shuttle. So, surely they can make something that will keep astronauts alive. So what is it that they've lost that they can't rebuild? It's nothing. It's a lie. It's a joke. So yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm rambling.
No, that's okay. Do you know something else as well? I went to work and this lady was explaining. I mean, we all know about free energy and everybody is in the sky. We're breathing it in, all this stuff there. But all this building in Newbury, it's one of those sort of elderly people places where they live there. But there's people doctors and all sorts of things around. But anyway, they've gone into the ground for the free energy, so they're so totally self-sufficient, and that's where we should be. Each house could be totally self-sufficient. You just got to drill into the ground a bit.
I personally,
all left and Karen is put a smart meter on the end of it. Take that away. It's still, the house still runs.
Well, I don't want one of those. I refuse to have a smart meter. Sorry, Dave, what were you going to say?
Yeah, I had a bit of a thought. I've been sort of chatting to a guy called Gerard Marin. I chatted to him a couple of times, and he's a guy in Canada. He's talking about free energy. He's also talking about the fact that that the power generation companies are actually using free energy to generate the power that they send us, and what we do is we send that power straight back to them because it's a circuit. So the power goes through our appliances and back to the generating plant.
We have someone who worked for an electricity company, and what he said is they charge you 100% and they take back 80 of it, and then they go and charge it back to someone else. So they're making masses of money.
More than necessary.
Well, I'm wondering whether we got anybody who's an electrician or electronic engineer or something, because maybe I'm missing something. I don't know if I should be saying this on air, but it seems to me that electricity goes from live to neutral, but there's also a path from live to earth. So if you have an earthing, a nice earth, right, you can connect one side of your appliance to the earth, and the other side to the live, and you take the power. It doesn't go back to the power station.
EMF
Sorry?
energy, electromagnetic field energy. You wind it an antenna around a live wire, and you connect the antenna to the earth, and you put your circuit in between.
Yeah.
You don't use any energy from the net itself, but the potential of the 50 hertz itself creates the energy. It's the flux which you tap into. The frequency is the energy.
Yes,
the frequency is there.
That's what Gerard Marin talks about. Yeah, it's what Gerard Marin talks about. It's RF energy, but you can literally just bypass their meter. Because it's not part of the circuit. It's not taking anything from their supply. So it's a thought. Maybe we should actually start thinking about that, because they're again charging us crazily for our own resources that they're now claiming are theirs, but they're ours. So and you're not taking anything from them. You're using the power, but they're still getting it. It's not being taken away from them. So yeah, maybe we should actually start thinking about things like that.
Yeah, and actually whining to
Prime Minister Dave.
Prime Minister. You know what? One of the things I wanted to do as a project was the last general election. I wanted to do a kind of online campaign to stand for leader, and encourage other people to do a kind, just stand as and vote. And I don't know where I really wants to go with it, but the idea was to draw the distinction between a ruler and a leader. Yeah, we're being ruled by obviously the Queen and her minions, the government. Yeah, we're being ruled, and a ruler, sits on a throne, and everybody is pointing that way and saying, okay, everyone take me there, and everyone's dragging this leader around, this ruler around. But a leader is the one who's up in front going, this way, follow me,
Yeah, he's the horse in front of the wagon.
Yeah, he's the leader. He's the first one. Yeah, if there's a decision to go to war, he's in the front line because he made the decision. Now I'm leading, and I'm saying we got to go to war. Yeah, rather than okay, I've said there's going to be war. Off you go. So I was going to put together a little manifesto and say, this is what I'm, if I'm selected to be leader, this is what I'll do, and then sort of encourage other people to stand for leaders and put what they propose to do, just to get thinking about the difference between having a ruler and a leader. But I never got around to it. Too many projects.
Hey Dave, not only that, mate, consider a political party, the Flat Earth Party. Imagine that, what a powerful statement that would be. Even if we got nowhere, what a statement that would be.
And in a sense, we're all leaders. We have all our own weapons to pull.
We've lost Patricia, but Jaylo has joined us. Hello, Jaylo.
Hi there, Karen.
Hello. How are you?
I'm fine, yourselves?
Fine, thanks. Do you want to say hello to Dave?
Hi there, Dave.
Hi, I'm a bit disappointed. I thought it was Jennifer Lopez.
No. I've been following you myself.
Yeah, I get.
Sorry, on you go.
Oh no, I was just saying. I gathered it wasn't her from the accent.
No, I've been following yourself for a while, Dave. I was following you way back when you were doing the Bedini stuff, and then I seen your video and I recognised you on the video for the Bedini experiments. How did you get on with them?
Actually, very well. Actually, for those who don't know, John Bedini created this little circuit, very, very simple circuit. Anyone can go out and make, and what it does, it charges batteries. So you get a tiny battery to power this circuit, and it will charge a whole bank of car batteries. So my little first prototype, it worked really well. It was just a hard disk platter, stripped down hard disk with 3 neodymium magnets stuck on it, and that was the rotor that spun around. But what I did was I blew up the circuit one day, tinkering around with it, and I replaced one of the components with the wrong value, and the wheel wouldn't go around. The whining sound, and I looked down and I found that even though the wheel was charging batteries, so I found a motionless effect, and other people found the same thing. But later on, and I've only got a couple of videos about it, I built a motionless version, just designed one just based on this effect that I found, and yeah, it was actually very successful. It was a 7-circuit version of the original Bedini, because the original Bedini circuit is easy to scale up. So so I built this thing, and I had it powering my motorhome for a good 3 months or so before I was tinkering with it and I blew it up. So yeah, it's been very successful. And again, if I get some time, which seems very short these days, I'll rebuild it and do a better job of presenting it and putting the circuit out and stuff like that.
Yeah, because you're trying to live off the grid, aren't you?
Well, I am. Though, yeah, partially I'm kind of I'm a little plugged in at the moment, but I've still got my battery bank, which I do tend to live off for periods of about a month or so, just to keep them sort of active, So yeah, it's I'm right now I'm kind of slightly out in the middle of nowhere. I'm only on the internet because I've got this. I built this 2.4 gigahertz amplifier. I've got a antenna with a satellite dish, basically what they call a cantenna, and I'm sort of hacking into a public Wi-Fi signal about half a mile away.
Oh, we need you on a projects night, Dave.
Naughty boy.
we need you on a projects night on here so you can take us through them.
It's not safe
sure.
to begin with. It's what they're publicly.
What's not safe?
The whole Wi-Fi stuff. It doesn't matter what protocol you use; it's hackable. Even if you hide your Wi-Fi.
Yeah, well, I'm not hacking. Somebody. It's a public hot too far away from me usually, but I'm just hooking into it as if I'm standing outside the building or something.
Yeah, what I meant, it's no longer considered a safe protocol.
Safe in what respect? As in secure?
Yeah, it's secure connections and such.
Okay, well, you know what? I don't really care about that, to be honest. And I'm also happy that now that my antenna is a long way away from my laptop, I'm not sort of too worried about being fried in my sleep.
FPV, can you explain what you found the other day? Because you were telling me earlier on.
What I found there? Yeah, refresh my mind.
Oh. Yeah, with the stuff on the car that you took a swab of.
Right, that sunny day last week when we had the red sky and it was supposed to be sand from the Sahara. I took a swab from my car windscreen later in the evening and put it under a microscope, and I'm told what I was showing people on here, I'm told it's what causes Morgellons. It's those like coloured strands.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it looks like we're getting that dumped on us.
It just looks like we're one big experiment for someone else, aren't we?
We've always been that. Governments have been starting to admit that they've been experimenting on their populations, because at the end of the day, we're human resources. That's it. That's all we are.
Well, it's how they treat us. It's not a weird.
I think they got rid of us now. They seem to want rid of us now, don't they?
I still find this really weird where a section of us have woken up, though. Like many are asleep, but a section of us have woken up. And it's not, I thought we'd be waking up quicker, because once we started waking up, then more would wake up and more. But 2016, masses woke up, and then it's sort of, I'm not saying people haven't woken up this year, but last year was the year, really, that most people woke up.
Yeah, but you know what happens when you wake up these days? It's like you wake up, you look around, nobody seems to be talking your language, so you hide. You kind of do your own research in your own time, and you hardly talk about it to other people. What most people don't realize is that there's a lot of people around you who have done exactly the same, and they're hiding just the same as you are. So it'll only take a word that you say to them that they'll go, oh yeah, I've been thinking that too. But so maybe it's there are more than we realize that have woken up. They're just hiding like we started to. I've had a few people that I never thought would wake up come to me and say, well, you know what, I can see things happening too. So, you know, you don't know. And I personally think that everything is leading as it should. Yeah. You know, this, I keep saying that this is all biblical in nature, and you know, everything is proceeding exactly as the Bible is talking about. You know, and I'm not talking about Revelations either. I'm talking about the Old Testament. Yeah, everything in there is coming to pass as it's written.
Just to say that Josh has joined us. Hello, Josh.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Hello. Josh is in America. He's in near Los Angeles, or in Los Angeles area, aren't you?
Yep.
Do you want to say hello to Allegedly Dave?
Yeah, actually I do. That's the whole reason why, well, not that I don't love talking to you, Karen, but that's the whole reason why I came on right now, was because I've seen him around quite a bit. I like his interview he had with that really heavy set guy. Probably one of the best flat earth interviews I've seen.
Oh, thanks very much.
But yeah,
I keep saying that I keep saying I didn't think that was that video was going to be interesting to anybody. It was half of it was in Macedonian, so you know.
Well, you know what? It was very well put together, man. It was very, very easy to understand. One thing I've learned personally talking to people, it's kind of weird how you have to teach them what they're supposed to know. Like you have to teach them basically how to argue against you. It's kind of weird.
Well, they're not used to having to argue or, you know, or really think intelligently, to be honest. I mean, that might sound superior, but it's true. You know, what other forum is there to challenge people?
Besides scripturally, on a daily basis, nothing.
Nothing. So, you know, if you don't use it, you lose it.
Yep. I found that people don't even know the order of the planets. I thought that was pretty basic.
Yep. Yeah, I know. There's a lot that people shock me with that, you know, I'm not a very clever person. I'm just an ordinary bloke, yeah. But, you know, I end up arguing with people or talking to them and thinking, you know, how come, you know, this is new to you, you know? So, yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Some of these people, I have a different view about Albert Einstein now, but before when I would talk to them and I would be having to explain things to them, man, they were making me look like I was like Edison or Tesla, dude, like I was some genius.
Yeah.
And I'm just giving them basic information, you know?
Well, you know what? That's actually what happens when anyone actually has a passion. Yeah, you actually your mind gets into it. You absorb information because you know it's fascinating to you, and you become an expert in something. You literally become an expert. You know, so it's not that you know you sound expert or you actually are. You become one.
Yep, unofficially. Which, when you think about it, what is really official, you know? Just because you got your name on a piece of paper?
Exactly. I got to a top position as a computer programmer, and I don't want to like blow my own trumpet, but I was pretty much one of the best in the world at what I did. I haven't got a single qualification in it. I just got into it because I love doing it. So what I'm trying to say is that we can all be experts. And as far as flat Earth is concerned, you know, huh?
Josh is out somewhere in America.
Okay.
Carry on.
I was just saying, as far as flat Earth is concerned, you know, once you get into it, you become an expert because you look into the stuff, you seek stuff out, and because you're trying to absorb it, trying to understand, you absorb all this information. And I don't know about anyone else, but at school I couldn't hold on to a single piece of information. The only thing I remember from school was 1066. But when it comes to something that I could get my teeth into, I remember all sorts of little bits of silly information that makes me sound like an expert, because I guess I am now.
Yeah, no, I get exactly what you're saying, man. I was always taught to watch out for well, my grandpa always called educated idiots. They're people that went to school for 10 years. They could tell you all the calculations from, well, back then he used to tell me from here to the moon, but now we have issues with that when I tell him stuff. Yeah,
that's not very far anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Although he's still, it's, I found that just the people that I'm around constantly, I found that if you just throw little tidbits of information at them, they'll start noticing things. I think it's kind of like what you were talking about right now, how you don't, like in school, you didn't remember things and stuff like that. Well, also, I think people now, as far as that are aware that we are living on a flat plane, we're more aware of things around us now. We're more aware of the sky, of the moon, of the sun, what they're doing, what the stars are doing, what the ground's not doing underneath us, which is spinning. Like, we're more aware of that, and it's kind of like I just see it as, how when you get a new car, like let's say you get like a new Mini Coupe, right? And you've never owned one before, never even really noticed them on the road. But as soon as you get one, doesn't it seem like every single car on the road is what you just bought? Just because you're aware of it. There's another thing with that, where a lot of the people around us, they have little like idiosyncrasies. They have certain things that they do that might annoy some people, and then the people that love them really don't care. They just kind of overlook it or never even notice. And once that's brought to your attention, like even if you care about that person, once that little detail's brought to your attention about that annoying thing that they do, it's kind of weird, because that's like the only thing you notice for the next like however long,
Yeah.
Just because you've been made aware of it now.
Yeah. The thing about just slightly going off topic, the thing about you were mentioning about the car, getting a new car and seeing that car everywhere. It turns out that it's actually that it isn't that you're noticing them more. It's actually that you have actually affected the statistical likelihood of you seeing them. It's a quantum effect. It's an actual measurable quantum effect, that because your focus now is on, say even before you get the car, you want a red Mini, yeah? What happens is the statistical likelihood of you seeing a red Mini actually increases, because that's your focus. And experiments with random number generators that prove this very thing. So yeah, just because you mentioned that, it's, that was an interesting thing, that actually you are affecting the world. We all affect the world around us, and that's one way that you can actually measure the effect you have on the world.
Yes, I couldn't agree more, man. I believe that each one of us, even the most insignificant person, or the person that thinks they're the most insignificant, deeply touches at least 200 people's lives throughout their lifetime. They impact
much
at
more
least
than
200
that.
people.
I think
200 is a very conservative number.
Well, I would say that every single person, not it's not just 200 people. I think you affect the entire universe, which is only, you know, our system. You affect everything in that universe, right? And that's one of the things they're trying to keep away from us. You know, heliocentric Big Bang universe, that, you know, trying to get you to believe you are small, insignificant, your words, your thoughts do not matter. Yeah, but the truth is that, you know, every one of us, our point of view matters. What we do affects the entire universe. Yeah, and I was making this point when I was doing that talk in the Flat Earth meetup in Cornwall, that we believe that we're very small in the world, a very small part of the world. But the point is, we're much bigger in the world than you can imagine, and the world is much smaller than you think. Yeah, you have an effect. You know, we all have an effect on this world. Just this programming that makes us feel that we're small and insignificant. No, we're huge. And you know, once we all realize that you know, we have an innate power to affect the world, you know, the world will be a better place.
Yeah, it'd be a better place if we go back to the basics about being human beings first. You know, all that kind of side of things.
Good words, Dave. Yeah,
Yes.
I agree. I mean, every one of us can make a difference. Just one person can make a difference, you know. It'll go down in history.
Yeah,
I've lost the person it was. I think it was Martin. He said that watching your stuff, Dave, woke him up to flat Earth. So you made a difference to at least one person.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, you know, I just put the videos out there, and I don't know what's going to happen, you know. And this is just the same as everyone else. You don't know what's going to happen when you put a video out there. You don't get the feedback. Great that Martin was able, you know, and you know, thanks for that, Martin. But you know, normally you don't get that feedback, so you don't have any clue how you're affecting the world. But you know, rest assured that even the fact that you believe the way that you believe, you don't have to make videos or anything, but just the fact that you believe the way that you do, you're having a kind of ripple effect around you. Yeah, your attitude might have changed suddenly. You know, the way you hold yourself might have changed, affects everyone else around you. Yeah, part of it, you start to realize how much more powerful, much more important you are in the world. And going back to something else you said, you know, I can't look at the moon now without wondering what the hell that is. You know,
Me too. It's exactly the same. What are you?
Yeah, it's brought that childlike wonder back into the world that I thought was gone.
Can I ask you something, Dave? Because obviously we're the same age. Do you think the moon has got bigger? I mean, generally, the whole thing about the moon. I'm sure, not because I was a little girl, but I'd look up and the moon would always be quite small, high in the sky. And sometimes when that moon appears here, I think, oh my God, it's like Ellie and I sometimes we've been driving towards it going, oh my goodness, it's absolutely huge.
I don't know, because I seem to remember sometimes seeing the moon very, very small in the sky, and then other times seeing it very, very big. And I remember somebody saying a long time ago that it was because, it's because of the what's around the moon makes it, you know, changes your perspective of how it looks and stuff. And I was never quite convinced about that. But yeah, I remember it being very large sometimes, and then other times very small. I now know that it's literally close or far, but yeah, I remember it being large at the time.
Can I ask you something
Remember the
else as
sun,
well? Because you know, like
not being so bright and intense.
Oh, sorry. You know that they say the moon is the night light. I don't remember as a younger person seeing the moon out in the day so much. Maybe it was. Maybe it's because once you become aware, you're looking for everything. I mean, I used to just go to the shops and buy some shoes or something. I go, what's that? Chemtrails. Oh, there's the moon. Oh, there's the sun. Da, da, da. I'm looking at different things now.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that again is our focus on looking for the moon. Before it might come out in a day, and you might notice it, but it wouldn't imprint on your memory that I just saw the moon. It'd just be, oh, there's a moon again, and the memory wouldn't stay. But now, because we're all so focused on it, it's like, oh, the moon's out during the day, and it's like, well, I know that can't happen. I know I can't be seeing a full moon at midday. So yeah, I think
that's the one that got me. Sorry,
especially it's supposed to be a night light. You mean it's out so much in the day?
Yeah, more that the fact that at midday that you really shouldn't be able to see a full moon, because the side of the moon, the sun, should be facing away from you. So there's no way you should be able to see a full moon.
Yeah. Someone's supposed 260,000 miles away.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And we can see almost every detail on it, though, with our bare eyes.
Yeah, our naked eyes.
Well, I think it's more that, when you get like your P900 and zoom into it, I mean, how can you zoom into something 238,000 miles away and get masses of detail? I mean, that's just ridiculous. I think when they zoomed and then zoomed in on a building that was 40 miles away or something like that, and just compared the difference of the detail that you saw. It's ridiculous to believe that this thing is 238,000 miles away.
Yeah, it's almost sometimes you look up there, you think, if you could just get a tall enough ladder, I'm sure I could get to it. I obviously can't, but it's not that, it doesn't look that far away.
Especially not for a P900.
No.
It's kind of a projection on our personal field. We confuse the world with ourselves for what the center of the sky is.
Well, that kind of I don't know why that just popped into my head as well, but I do not like to speculate about stuff that I cannot, verify, or I don't have any other evidence for. There's lots of people talking about the square Earth, or the Pac-Man Earth, and they've all got all these theories and stuff about it. Huh?
Oh, that's just I don't know who that was. I think it was in TV's house. Carry on, Dave.
Okay. Yeah, it's they're getting really passionate about all these different models, and you're still looking at the AE map. You're stupid. You're a plant, because it's obviously not the AE map. It's a square one or the Pac-Man one, or they're arguing over ideas that or theories that they've got no way of proving, and it's a huge argument. So I don't ever get involved in arguments like that, because as far as I'm concerned, the AE map is good enough. Yeah, and until there's evidence, there's more information comes to light, it's good enough. I'm not gonna, I don't really want to bother talking about other theories of other shapes, and
you're just
there's no
happy
point.
You're just happy to know it's flat for now, because obviously we're.
I'm happy to know that we're not on a spinning ball. I personally believe in the dome, because that's what the Old Testament talks about. I do believe myself, my personal thought is that, and it's a thought that's not based on very much evidence, is that beyond Antarctica there's more land and there's more continents, and the dome starts, you know, further on from those continents.
We do have proof from someone there is a firmament there, but he can't.
Okay.
He can't say any more than it's a frequency, because what it is he had scalar equipment, and as the waves went up,
Okay.
it wasn't doing it for work, and when the waves went up, they immediately came back. So he knows there's a firmament there, but what it is exactly more than a frequency, he's not sure, but it's definitely a frequency.
Okay. Well,
Sort of
you know, I've got a stack of my own evidence that, well, yeah, it's evidence, circumstantial. You know, like the Encyclopedia Americana saying that there's a dome at 13,000 foot, and then marrying it up to what Admiral Byrd said about, or what Admiral Byrd had happened to his planes. That's circumstantial evidence. But you know, I think it goes towards saying that there's a dome. So, but I'm not going to argue with somebody about whether it's a dome or it's an infinite plane or it's or whatever, because I don't know. The other person doesn't know. What's the point in trying to argue about it? You know, we'll have our own ideas until more information comes around. So I don't really get why there's all this division and arguments.
Yeah, it's kind of what I figured. It's not 3D, and what it then is, yeah, that's still to be figured out, because I really have no idea how far this goes.
Yeah. So what's the point in arguing about something that we at this point,
all that money that NASA are using, and they could put it into actually proving what we do live in, not lying to us and pretending what they're showing us. Because obviously the whole point about NASA was to make the ball. Because it seems Dave Artis, who's in our group, he's found newspaper articles in the 1900s which said that if you said that we were a ball, a globe, then you went to prison. And then we went through this whole electric car thing. There was masses of electric cars going. Then we had the First and Second World War, and using free energy before that. Then we had the First and Second War, and when we came out of that, it was oil, petrol, going to the moon, and a ball. And also the daylight, you know, like the time zones, that all happened in the 60s. So they did it in the 60s. They turned us into a ball for sure in the 60s. So it isn't even that long ago. Very recent.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that maybe some people would say it was a globe and some people said it was flat. But before the First and Second World War, everybody knew we were on a flat Earth plane. And I mean, we've been talking to a Red Indian, her name's Marlena, and it's like she grew up only knowing we were on a flat plane. When she was 16, someone told her that we were a globe, and she said she just thought they were crazy, thought it was sci-fi. Because obviously they've got thousands of years of...
culture's history goes 15,000 years back. That's what she told us as well.
Yeah, she's from the Micmac tribe.
Okay. But yeah, the point I'm trying to make though is that, you know, there's no point in us all arguing about you know, about our different models and stuff. Yeah, it's great to theorize and stuff, but to attack somebody because they don't believe the model that you're proposing, it's ridiculous, because nobody actually knows until somebody can go and get more information than we've been allowed. Then nobody knows, so it's all up for grabs. So you know that's the thing.
Let's find out instead of arguing on what we don't know.
Yeah, well, that takes resources that beyond most people, and you know, we don't have enough unity to be able to get together and find out. Because you know, if there's you know, 10,000 of us, let's be optimistic. Let's say there's 100,000 of us, yeah, around the world, and we all decided to get together, put our money together, and just go. Yeah. We could do something, but right now we're so divided, and the other movement. Yeah, there's so many trolls, there's so many agents, and there's so many provocateurs. There's so many people in there just to argue. We can't get together, and that's every single movement. I saw it happen to the free man movement. We were getting somewhere with the free man movement, but then they just went, giving the trolls overtime, and they just broke it up from the inside.
Divide and conquer. It's the same game over and over.
More research, less drama. That's my policy.
And we never learn.
I agree with you totally there, FPV. No drama. It's bad enough as it is, isn't it? What's happened to us? It's bad enough.
Could you?
Sorry, Dave.
Sorry, I'm not getting much. It was breaking up. I didn't get you. I was
just saying, bad enough what they've done to us already, isn't it? That's bad enough.
Yeah, but they keep using this divide and conquer, and we keep falling for it. We've decided that I'm not arguing with anybody. I'll even now when I get somebody on my on any of my videos, I'll talk to them. I'll try and make them see if it doesn't go that way. Okay, you're free to believe what you believe. I'm not going to argue with you, and it kills it there.
Yeah, we need to come together, not fighting and stupid things like that. Get rid of the ego. Leave your ego at the door. It's much better without an ego, and use your hearts.
Go beyond it.
Yeah. Well, if all of us, if all of us started to do that, I'm sorry.
It's okay. We understand. Dave hasn't got an internet connection. He's using.
Sorry. Say again. Hello? FPV.
Oh. FPV.
No, I was just mentioning before. So it's not just use your heart, use your brain. But it carried on a bit after that. I think you missed part of Karen's conversation.
I mean, the whole point when you kind of wake up is you feel freer in your heart, don't you? You feel at peace in your heart.
Well, yes, you do. But as I said, we've got to, if we can start really speaking to each other with respect, realizing that, none of us actually know any more than any of other of us. We might have ideas about other things, but if we respected each other, then the trolls and the agents will be obvious to spot, because they're the ones who will just be trying to start division for the sake of it, and they wouldn't last very long. So we'll get involved in a drama, but we've just got to, some of us got to learn to step back from this drama. I saw this I saw this because there was a Skype group. Nathan Oakley started a Skype group because he wanted to do a show where he got a few, I guess, prominent flat earthers together. He put a Skype group together, added about maybe 12 or of some prominent flat earthers, and after the show, the Skype group continued a bit. So there was every now and again there was a bit of a chat in there between, there was Mark Sargent in there and Dave Weiss and a few people like that. Nice little chats going on, and then all of a sudden, that started having a go at a couple of the others, and then two of them left, and then two more left, and three. It just fell apart because you know, certain people are in there and they just need to snipe at other people. And I'm hoping it's because they're you know.
Do you think what it is that
because
they,
you know,
people say they're flat earthers, but they have to leave their globehead mind behind? We've been sort of so trained in this globehead world, and really we've got to retrain, rethink, everything.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, I think you know, I'm just trying by my only example, get involved with the dramas, you know, not getting involved cult of personalities, you know. People keep asking me, what do I think of you know, Eric Dubay? I've got a lot from Eric, you know. I'm not really interested in some of the other things he talks about. Well, that's fair enough. He can talk about whatever he wants. Take all the good stuff that he says. If there's stuff that doesn't resonate with me, I'll leave it. End of story. I don't care if he's an agent or anything. I just care about what you know, the good stuff that he gives.
Take the babies, throw away the dirty bathwater.
We had to learn and start
Exactly.
somewhere, though, didn't we? If you know what I mean. You get bits out of everyone, and then, you know, someone like you've moved on, and now we're looking at you, Dave. We're looking at you, Dave.
Well, don't look at me. I don't know where I'm going.
Oh, you've been very informative, and yeah, you've helped loads of people. So
Yeah, at the moment I'm a bit stalled because I'm still kind of researching language. I'm getting some interesting stuff, but I haven't found. There's a few things I need to find to link the whole thing together. It's you know, still some exciting stuff. I've been looking at dolphins, how they communicate. It turns out they communicate with pictures as well. So if maybe we would naturally speak, you know, other animals actually speak that language too. So yes, it's getting exciting, but I haven't found enough yet to tie it all together. And as soon as I do, that's when I'll start putting stuff out. And also got a video to do about. I've been working on it for a while, and actually out of it. But I've left it so long that now I'll come back to it. There's so much more that I should do, so I've got to start from scratch. So yeah, I'm very behind on a lot of stuff. So yeah, I apologise to people who've been waiting.
It's kind of so much that it's just hard to catch up all the time.
Yeah, I don't understand how people can be pumping out videos like every day or every week or something, because I couldn't do it.
Yeah, but it's kind of writing your book. It takes months or years to write your book. And then,
yeah, I'm trying to do that as well. Oh, I'm looking at the chat now. Somebody thinks I've got ADHD or something. I don't know.
oh, they've got to label you with something, haven't they?
Yeah, maybe I have got ADHD. I don't know. But there you go. I don't know. I was actually working on a little parody video because I've been watching a lot of Richie from Boston. And I just found myself, you know, copying his voice. So I was going to do something like that. I don't know. Maybe I will do one of these days. You know, hey, what's up, YouTube?
if you're good at it.
But learning all this stuff, though, what you do, it changes you as a person, doesn't it? I mean, it does go on and on. I mean, you think you know, and then you think, oh, I don't know anything. And then you learn more and you think, well, I still don't know enough. And it goes on and on and on.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just, again, looking at the chat. It says, no, Dave, ADA plate, letters and numbers. I don't really get what that means. But yeah, okay. Maybe somebody can explain. Okay, it's probably something I'm not really aware of. So maybe I'll figure it out at some point. This does change you. It certainly changed me. You know, I was saying to you before, you know, before we started this, that I've been, I went for a bit of a low patch. You know, having come back from the States, and you know, having done 5 years of helping people for nothing. You know, I had this moment where I was looking back, thinking, you know, what have I done? What have I been doing for 5 years? I've got nothing to show for all the, you know, for the past 5 years, and I can see attractive it might be to even a willful one, knowing some of this stuff, but you know, just going along with the program, going to work and watching television and eating crap and stuff. I can the attraction, because at the end of the day, this life of being a truther can be quite a lonely one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can attract, but yeah, the low point only lasted for a few days, and but you know, normal.
It's breaking up now.
So
It's raining.
And
You're
yeah,
just breaking up. Oh, he's back now. You just broke up for that last sentence. Could you say that last sentence again?
oh, I said, yeah, even though there was that moment I wanted to go back into the Matrix, there's no way back into the Matrix for me. It's like Morpheus, or back into the Matrix.
That's the saddest thing, is that we've all realised that we're living in the Matrix.
Yeah. But yeah, but as I said, there's no, you know, once you take the red pill, because back when I might have told you this story already, Roots came out, and you know, I was shocked.
The TV program, well, film Roots.
Yes, it was a TV film. When I was 13, and I remember watching it and being shocked by it and thinking, okay, if I was back in those days, what kind of slave would I have been? You know, would I be a slave that does just enough work to stop, you know, to avoid being whipped in the field, or would I be, you know, one of the house slaves who, you know, there to keep all the others down? Or would I be Kunta Kinte and find every way I can to escape? At the time, I thought, lucky that I'm not one of those slaves, because I hate to make that choice, because I know the choice I'd make would be to be Kunta Kinte. Just sit still for it. But then, you know, later, realizing that actually I am in that, well, I choice back when I was 13. There wasn't any other I could go. You know, I have to you know, stand up to this system.
Yes, the system we're in, it's just a system.
Yeah. Well, a system of systems. Anything that calls itself a system is your enemy. That's the thing. Anything that's called a system is your enemy. healthcare system, the legal system, you name it. It's got the word system in.
They sell it as something that protects you, but but it is actually a cage. Yeah, it protects you. It's so the upside down and the inside out.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me, 1 minute. I'm just I'm gonna be back in a sec. I've got to do something. Hold on.
Okay. Yeah, this horrible system we've been put in. Anyway, we'll realise that now.
Yeah, I came across something like first they built the cage and then they put you in it. We don't even see that they built the cage. And then slowly we're getting all the rules one by one by one by one. Eventually it's just completely shut off. You're no longer allowed to be you. The only thing what you are is a copy of so-called perfection.
Well, I'm back now. What we're finding is that now the curtains are being dropped and we're seeing the bars now. You know, they're not even trying to hide their system now. They're not even trying to hide what they're doing.
It's deep enough in.
Now.
Yeah, I've just shown you, haven't I, on that little video I showed you, you've got paused astronauts. You know, that's not the only thing I found. That's just I was just saying they're not even hiding it in with NASA, because, you know, that video just shows you with the paused astronaut. That means they weren't together when they filmed it. Now, I can find this stuff. I've got 11 videos myself on the other Sun and Moon channel. And, you know, if I can see it, how come other people can't see it? Just go and watch one of their live feeds. They're not really hiding it. You can sort of see scuba diver things happening. And then the other day I was thinking, why is it they spend so much time arguing with their bags? Just pushing these bags in and out. Someone said it's because they're untangling them from the wires.
I wonder, what is it that truth can be hidden right in our face?
Yeah.
Hello? No, Dave.
I think. Sorry, go back to the bag thing. I think that's I think Jeromism did something. Oh, what? Hello? What?
I was just saying he disappeared for a bit because listen, everybody, we always have a pre-talk with Dave, and then somewhere along the line we lose him on the hangout. I thought we'd lost you. Carry on.
Okay. Yeah, I was saying I think Jeronism showed those bags that they have with them, just the fact that they scoop them into a bag so that they can, you know, the scuba divers are actually the bags. They've just superimposed these bags over the top of these scuba divers to basically hide most of their.
I could see that too.
Shape.
And they just seem to be arguing with each other then. They're always arguing with each other. Argue. I mean, they don't even do anything when they're outside anyway. They're doing nothing except arguing with the bag. Arguing.
I have a bit of a fantasy that I'll you know, Brian Cox or like guy Tim Peake.
Yeah, traitors.
Like you know, a fanboy, and just slip in a few questions, and then when they get all then just then with it, you know, flat Earth questions. I just want that one opportunity.
Oh, Oh, you're breaking up a little bit, Dave. There. So we can't. You're just. It's going a bit robot-like, but it's got to 11 o'clock now. We usually lose you about now. You must turn something off somewhere or turn it down. But carry on. See if you can carry on now. You just got a bit slow. Hello, Dave. Where's Dave?
Okay. I want to rain here as well.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I figured. How water can interfere.
Are you there, Dave? Flat Earth calling Dave. He usually happens about 11 o'clock. He just disappears about 11 o'clock.
He should try turning the camera off so that he strengthens his bandwidth.
There you go. He's gone. It's 11 o'clock. He might try and rejoin. He might rejoin for about 5-10 minutes. And then he goes again. He's not using his own Wi-Fi, Josh. He's using something about half a mile away.
Oh, well, either way, turning the camera off will improve his bandwidth. So
he has got it off, hasn't he? I only see a D. I only saw the blank screen.
No, I was looking at him pretty much the whole time he was talking.
Were you?
Yeah. Almost a full conversation. Because I'm special.
Yeah, Josh, you are special.
Yeah,
I didn't. I just got to see a blue icon. This is what I'm saying. We have a pre-talk with Dave, and he's there, and then we have the hangout, and just in midstream of him saying something, he disappears.
Can I just say something real quick? I've been watching Ceres in the camera, in his camera, and dude, he just looks like a crazy wizard sitting there petting his cat all slowly, looking at the camera with his eyes all lowered and everything. Like, he looks like he belongs in a horror movie.
Oh, don't say that. You're talking about my boyfriend.
Oh no, he looks awesome though. Like, it just looks like every time I switch the camera over to him, I'm just like, dude, I should be filming you right now. This should be like in a movie.
Actually, well, when he comes back, I'll get him to put his hat on. He looks more like a wizard then.
Alchemist.
I don't know where he's gone at the moment. Yeah, we've lost Dave. I don't think Dave will be back. It started to rain, but it isn't the rain that does it. About 11 o'clock, we lose him. And he's usually right in mid-flow of something. Huh?
I said 11 o'clock, he turns into a pumpkin.
That's Ceres. Put your hat on. There you go. Ceres made that hat. Oh, he's back. Yeah, Ceres crocheted that hat. Dave, are you with us? Flat Earth calling Dave.
Wait, you crocheted that hat?
I'm back.
Wow.
Hello, Dave. I'm glad you're back. You might have a better connection now.
Oh, he just dropped. As soon as you said glad you're back. As soon as you said glad you're back, Dave, like it was the sound of him dropping was in the middle of you saying that.
I think he'll find it frustrating. I think he might try one more time and then he'll give up. Yeah, Ceres made that hat.
That is cool.
Like the sheeple. Ceres was on the Lord of the Rings, huh?
Listen,
yeah. I don't know.
Josh, Ceres crochets. You know what crocheting is, don't you? It's not knitting. You do it with
Yeah,
one hook.
it's like it's basically like knitting with chopsticks.
The only thing you need is a hook.
Yeah, that's the thing I was talking about. That looks like chopsticks.
Captain Hook, because crocheting is with the hook, and we call it different in that way. But then the English name became then Captain Crochet, and that's why they call me. At some point, people began to call me that. Okay, so it kind of became a brand for all the stuff I was crocheting. I started with lighter holders and small stuff to have something sellable on a gallop party somewhere in Hungary.
So who taught you how to crochet though? Did you teach yourself?
YouTube, 3 basic sticks, and out of there you build everything.
Yeah. Well, I was just curious whether or not like your grandma taught you or your mom taught you or something like that.
In the
It just
past,
seems...
I've learned practically everything just from as a child in a way, but the actual crocheting, I just was remembering on YouTube what the sticks types are, the loose, the fast, and the stick, and those are the 3 things you can do with it. And out of there, they create all kinds of different patterns, etc. And I came across the flower of life idea by drawing the flower of life, and figured out how you can actually build everything with triangles. It's kind of how you build a buckyball ball, for example, and how that works with that whole geometrical stuff. Yeah, with crocheting, I began to build all kinds of stuff. I've made 2 dresses, very large.
Ceres makes wicked hats, and some people might not realize on Hangouts he's sitting there crocheting.
You know what? You actually really reminded me of I don't know why, but what you said right now really reminded me of Matt. How you said everything's triangles, because I remember him saying that exact phrase about the artwork and everything he was doing.
By triangles. You have the square and the circle, but between it you have the triangles, actually connecting them all together.
Yeah. Everything is triangles. Okay.
Like we are the Trinity. What makes us the center between the circle and the square, which is the heaven and the earth. Marty Leeds explained it.
Actually, also, people maybe don't see. I mean, I don't think any of us, but to be honest, I don't know about you, Josh, but with none of us that seem to have the most brilliant cameras. But Ceres looks a bit different, you know, when he's on his phone and that. You can see his face; he's different. He's all you see on here is a beard.
A lot of beard.
That's what I was saying. That's why I was saying when he was sitting there petting the cat, he looked like he belonged like as a bad guy in a movie because of the shadows and the way his beard and everything. Like dude, he looked like he should be sitting next to Dr. Evil. Like,
I'm scary.
But it was just like, I mean, Karen, I know better. I know that it's just the shadows. I mean, I can totally tell by just the shadows on his hat right now. You only see like half the colors that are on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ceres has a really nice face.
I bet you when he shaves, he's probably got a baby face.
I know he's got a nice face.
Yeah, I bet you when he shaves, he's probably got like a baby face, huh?
I don't think Ceres in his adult life's really been without a beard of some kind. Have you, Ceres?
Yeah, I kind of grew always a beard from the beginning, and then especially this piece. And that's why this part is mainly black. And at the beginning of Flat Earth realization, I began just grew my beard for good. My cat finds my fetish very interesting.
I think you and Darren Nesbitt need to have a beard competition.
A beard competition.
You know what?
I always shake this part, and this part, when I let it grow, it is actually completely gray. So it's kind of weird to have a very black front and then sideways blonde in that sense.
Do the sides grow a little more scraggly than the stuff in the front?
Sorry?
Do the sides grow a little more scraggly than the stuff on the front?
I don't know. It's all getting a little bit long. So it's long. Yeah, you have that the front hangs more in the front because it's grown from there. But the sideway, yeah, it's getting pretty long, if you ask me.
Yeah, dude, your beard is longer than the hair on top of my head.
Ceres has got longer hair than me. He was making me laugh the other day, weren't you, Ceres? He let his hair down and he was going, woo! Like, flicking his hair, woo!
Yeah. So-called, what is it, antennas for truth? Just spiritual antennas. I don't know what I'm catching. That's for later concern in that sense. There's a lot to digest in the world and above the world and inside. Yeah, and realizing who we are.
Yes, more magnificent than they tell us we are.
Definitely, yeah.
Hey, so I don't think we're going to be getting Dave back.
No, I think we've lost Dave. He's actually sort of on the internet. He's been looking at messages I've sent, but he's using, he's not using his Wi-Fi, so he's using something that's out.
Yeah, it's the same as Wi-Fi, but there's with the special targeting antennas dish, so you can actually catch up way better signal, but the range just makes it impossible to catch the signals.
I just asked, I saw Poncho Pete in the chat room. I've just sent him the link if he wants to come on for a little bit, but we've been going for 2.25 hours. We'll stay on a little bit longer. Poncho, come on. I've sent you the link. Come on.
Poncho?
Yeah, he's in the chat. Well, he was.
There he is.
Hey, Karen, thanks for the opportunity to talk to Dave, though. I've wanted to talk to him for a little while now.
Oh, I'm pleased that you're happy. That's cool. Yeah, you're becoming part of the crew, aren't you now?
You keep inviting me, I'll keep showing up, dear.
Oh, anyway, it's nice to have nice people on our panel, and you're one of those.
Thank you so much. It's great being on this panel all the time. You guys are really fun to talk to. You guys are really awesome people.
Yeah, and so are you.
And on top of that,
yeah,
we all get to make different connections through the different people that we know,
Yeah.
Like through you guys, I was able to talk to Marlena. Marlena's really cool. I talk to her all the time now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I talk to Marlena a lot. I think she's really nice. I really like Marlena. Guess what, Josh? He's on tomorrow.
What?
Does that mean you want to come on tomorrow? And we've got Lydia, the co-pilot, on as well. Lydia, the co-pilot, and Marlena are on.
Yeah, sure.
Also,
it was fun last time they were on.
Also, we've got Ty from Flat Realm Media as well as coming on.
Oh, Josh?
Yeah, Ty.
Ty. Okay, so is Ty a different guy from Flat? Oh wait, no. You said Flat Realm Media, not Iron Realm Media. That's right.
Ceres is writing. In fact, Ceres, I meant to tell you that Dave Marsh bought his magazine and has a copy of it.
Oh, Refine.
And he says it's a really good magazine. There's lots of information in it. So Ceres is writing an article for it.
Oh, trying to. I do my best. It's the first time I ever written an article what gets in a magazine. And especially
Hey, that can be really cool.
Yeah, it's a really nice experience actually expressing it into words readable.
Kind of makes you look at it differently, right? When you have to explain it to somebody else and not just learn it.
Yeah, also because it's so huge, how do you compress that that another can kind of understand it, but not, and then get interested enough to get deeper into it, to actually research it.
I'm really sorry. It's Flat Earth Revival. That's what it is. I'm really sorry. I've got confused. Ceres and I are going on Iron Realm Media on Friday night. Okay, so we'll be streaming at 10 o'clock on Friday night with Iron Realm Media. And Ty is from Revival magazine. I'm so sorry, Ty. And that's who Ceres is doing the article for.
Okay.
Get it right, Karen. Yeah. And tomorrow so far, we've got Marlena, Lydia, I think Judith's coming on, Ty's coming on. You're coming on, Josh?
Yeah.
Okay, you're down on the book. Obviously, Patricia. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7 of us, and I'm sure maybe 1 or 2 will come on. Yeah, and so she's going to come and obviously talk a bit more about spirituality and stuff. And I'd just like everybody to know that this should be happening on Friday morning. So Friday evening, Ceres and I are going on Iron Realm Media. And Friday morning, it looks like I've got Santos and Darren Nesbitt.
Because of the timing with the two.
Yeah.
Ceres
Darren
can discuss that beard competition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Competing in it. Why compete in it?
Darren doesn't particularly like being on particularly late at night on a hangout. So it will be usually we get Santos when he wakes up. Poor Santos. He wakes up, has his breakfast, and then comes online at 8 o'clock in the morning. So he's amazing. He's always here on 8 o'clock in the morning for us. But for him, it'll be the evening this time. So I'm not sure if it'll be the longest hangout ever, but an hour or two on Friday, 10:30 a.m. UK time. And then Ceres and I've got Iron Realm Media, which we will stream on here. And tomorrow we've got Marlena. So I think that's a really good week.
Yeah.
Yeah, are you excited, Ceres? Are you excited? Because although I'm going on the radio show with you, it's you that's going to be doing the talking.
Yeah, feed me more truth. I have a very big stomach for that.
No, you're the one that's got to be talking. You're the guest, Ceres.
Yeah, I know. Probably a lot of deeper stuff.
I think Ceres, what do you know what you're going to talk about? Because I know what you're doing for the magazine. Ceres is going to show them for the magazine how they bent all the pictures, how it all starts off as square, flat pictures, and then they bend them into circles and balls.
Yeah, it's kind of, reality isn't 3D, so it's kind of getting the minds of people out of that 3D box and realize that there is more than this 3D. There is 7D at least. If it's not, I don't know, another level in that, or another level. It's just endless in that sense. We are so much more at the center of it. We don't realize it. That's all we don't do. Awareness. and not particularly about what other people think about me or you or whatever. It's about what we are, where we are, who we are, where we came for, what we're doing here.
Yeah, it does seem a really strange sort of thing that we're in, really. Like the whole thing. I thought it was bad enough when there was the planets and that, and they were like, millions of light years away. And then I used to think, well, what's round that? Because they could never tell you what was round it. So we were still in something strange. But this, what we're in now, is just incredible.
It's kind of stepping out of the 13th floor virtual reality and realize there is way much more beyond this. Yeah, how do you explain that? It's kind of waiting for people to be ready to digest this information. Not everyone is ready, that's for sure.
I've just had a message from Dave. It won't let him connect again. But I know about 11 o'clock he drops out. No, I never say goodbye to Dave. We never get to say goodbye to him. He just drops out.
So sad.
There's just so much we don't know, isn't there? I mean, like what I'm saying is we're learning as we go along, and each person is almost like probably feels like they're a scientist with what they're learning. I mean, we never even learned all this stuff at school, anything like this at school. In fact, I was probably bored at school or whatever. Actually, no, I had a really bad education. Let's go there. They tried to teach me an ITA system, which was phonics. Well, no phonics. It was having the letters using another. So one letter could be two letters. They were trying to get rid of joined up writing, and then someone forgot to tell the next school that I'd done this pilot, and there was hundreds and hundreds of children in the 60s this happened to. And then of course, what are we called? Thick, stupid and useless, which we weren't. It was like being taught French class, and none of us could read and write. It's called
Karen.
ITA.
Can I read something that I just got right now to you guys real quick? I think you'll get a kick out of it. So,
go on then.
About 2 months ago, I had like a 2-hour-long conversation with my best friend who lives in Texas. Like we grew up together, and then he moved out to Texas like a couple years ago. But I was talking to him about the fact that we could be living on a flat earth, right? Well, I haven't talked to him. The last thing I said to him was in August. And then now he sent me a message, and it was a YouTube link. I haven't looked at the link, but the next message says liars. And then it says, the more I look for proof that the earth is a sphere, the more I find that it is not.
Yay, another one come over. That's cool.
My buddy's a flat earther now. That's so awesome.
That's the whole point, getting into the investigation, actually proving it yourself, figuring out it can't be proven. There's no experiment. What it actually proves.
Exactly. That's why I got no problem just dropping this in someone's lap and walking away. Because then they have to decide what to do with it. Either look into it or just toss it away and ignore it.
Yeah, just give them the notion. And that's the only thing that you actually begin to think about it. And if you have that, it's kind of like that mini what was talked about. Flat Earth as a notion. I never thought about it. It's never. And eventually it caught my attention, and from that moment I became a flat earther. It was unavoidable. It's so weird.
Oh my God, not just that. He just sent me another message right now telling me that he was talking to his brother about it as well. And now his brother's a flat earther.
So contagious. That's the thing with flat earth. Spread the notion. You don't have to prove it. Let people prove themselves for themselves. I mean, just...
It's the healthiest virus in the world.
Yeah.
And it's not just that. You don't even think it, you know it.
That's what you discover, yeah. That you always have believed stuff and never realized that you never knew everything. You thought you knew because you actually thought the authority was true. Yeah, forget that.
Oh, I'm just
That
talking.
is so awesome, though. I am so ecstatic about that because I really care about this guy. He growing up, he was just as much of a brother as any of my brothers were. You know, like as a matter of fact, even my brothers consider him a brother because he was around us so much. Like he was straight part of our family. So that is just awesome. I am so glad about that. That is so cool. That kicks ass.
Yeah, congratulations for the effect of the ripple. Yeah, this is what really the proof that how we are affecting the world. It's us who have to do it. Nobody else will do it.
Sorry, I've gone a little bit quiet because trying to get Dave Murphy on the messenger, and it rings a couple of times and then cuts off. And he just tried to call me, and it cut off. Try him again.
Poor fella, he's just really got a bad signal.
Yeah.
You know what? It rings twice and then cuts off.
Tell him to turn the microwave off.
Yeah. That's it easy. It's very weird.
Can I just say, guys, we've sort of been going for 2.5 hours. Do you think that
Karen,
we should, like,
if you want to end it, go for it, dear.
well, we'll be seeing you again tomorrow, Josh, my darling.
Yes. You know what? Try to get some rest, Karen. Isn't it late over there right now? I was thinking about this the other day. I was wondering, I was like, when in the world does that woman sleep?
It's 11:30 right now.
Oh, that's not too bad.
I think in Flat Earth, though, it's the kind of thing that you get a lot less sleep when you're a Flat Earther. And anyway, I have to talk to my man a bit as well, and we have to wait till after the Hangouts.
We have so much time together.
Well,
usually me and Ceres are going to sleep when the light's coming up.
Yep. Well, I'll tell you what, guys. I'm going to hop off right now, and then, okay?
Okay, well, listen, we're coming back, so I'll come back so that we can say goodbye to everybody in the chat room. Dave tried to come back on, and it just didn't happen. So I'd like to thank him very much for trying to come back on. And hey, Josh, you're going to show your face and have a Flat Earth hug.
Yeah.
Okay.
FPV doesn't show his face. I don't know if he's got a camera or whatever, but he doesn't. But Ceres is holding up. Josh, where are you?
I'm right there.
Josh.
Okay.
Hey, thank you to everybody on the panel. Thank you so much, Dave Murphy. I love him to pieces. And thank you to everybody in the chat room for being here, watching, listening, and to everybody that's going to watch this hangout. Lovely, lovely, drama-free evening. Anyway, thank you so much. And we're back tomorrow, as said, with Josh, Ceres, maybe FPV, but Malena and Lydia, the co-pilot. And who else was it? Not looking. Maybe Judith, Patricia, obviously Josh. Anyway, that's tomorrow. Be more women on tomorrow than men. Anyway, thanks once again, because it was a little bit of a surprise with Dave, because Dave and I mean, I'm quite lucky really in this position to be able to talk to so many of the sort of bigger flat earth people and their channels. And, you know, like Dave was going, I might be able to come on, I might. And then there he was. So it was a very, we only knew about half an hour before he came on. And even that, I had to put the hangout to unlisted just in case he couldn't come on. Because obviously, you know, he was our guest and then he did come on. So we're very pleased. Anyway, we'll see you tomorrow. And thank you so much for watching and listening. Okay, everybody, say goodbye.
Right, see you later.
Bye, everyone.
Shh, it's flat.
Shh, it's flat. Bye, everyone.